Police!
No peace! Police! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now!
Miguel Vega!
Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Andrés Guardado! Andrés Guardado! Andrés Guardado! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Andrés Guardado! Andrés Guardado! Andrés Guardado! Andrés Guardado! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega!
Miguel Vega!
Miguel Vega!
Killer cops!
Off our streets!
Off our streets! We don't want them.
We're here at the Covina home of Los Angeles Sheriff's County Deputy Miguel Vega, who on June 18th murdered an 18-year-old worker named Andrés Guardado. The address is 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina, the intersection of Cedar Drive and San Bernardino Road. 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina, the intersection of West San Bernardino Road. This is the home of Sheriff's Deputy Miguel Vega. Deputy Vega likes to murder 18-year-old workers in Guardado and then come home to his quiet neighborhood in Covina and enjoy his residential suburban life. We cannot allow Los Angeles Sheriff's County deputies to come into working class and poor and oppressed neighborhoods.
Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence?
Kiana.
Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence?
This is a legal classic picket line informing the neighborhood, the good people of Covina, that they have a murderer living in their community. We want Deputy Vega, thank you. We want Deputy Vega arrested for murder. We want Sheriff Villanueva out. We want his resignation immediately. We want the District Attorney, Jackie Lacey, to prosecute Deputy Vega for the murder of Andrés Guardado. We want justice for Andrés Guardado. You can see that this is a very comfortable Covina neighborhood that Deputy Miguel Vega takes good care of his of his home. He has a nice manicured lawn. He's very concerned with the conditions and circumstances where he lives in his residence, but he has very little regard for the conditions and circumstances that poor and oppressed immigrant families, working class families in the South LA area, Guardado. He's working out of the Compton Sheriff Station. These sheriffs in the Compton Sheriff Station terrorize, abuse, disrespect people in our communities and our neighborhoods on a regular basis. They have to be held responsible. We're here to hold Deputy Vega responsible. We're here to demand that District Attorney Jackie Lacey file murder charges for the killing of an 18-year-old worker.
And carelessly and cruelly.
The address is 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina, the intersection of West San Bernardino Road. Cedar Drive, North Cedar Drive, and San Bernardino Road.
Your neighbor's a murderer!
Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Miguel Vega! 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 Miguel Vega!
Off our streets!
Off our streets! Off our streets! Off our streets! Off our streets! Off our streets! Off our streets! Justice! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Police! 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 Police!
Your neighbor's a murderer!
Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer!
Back of the truck? Is it okay if I hop in the back of the truck? Absolutely.
Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! No amplified sound. No amplified sound.
Your neighbor's a murderer!
Your neighbor's a murderer!
Justice!
No peace!
No killer!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No killer!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No killer!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No killer!
Police!
Who killed Andres?
Miguel Vega!
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 Who killed Andres?
Miguel Vega! Murder charges!
When do we want him?
Now! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
What do we want 'em?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges! Now! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Killed Andres!
Miguel Vega!
Killed Andres!
Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want 'em?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! Murder charges! Now! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Say his name!
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Off our streets! Off our streets! Off our streets!
Killer cops!
Off our streets!
Killer cops!
Off our streets! 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 Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Say his name!
Andres Guardado!
Andres Guardado!
All over Los Angeles County. This gang that this pig currently is a part of is literally called the Executioners. And they all have tattoos on their national symbol. And there are other gangs like them, like the Bandidos. East LA section, the Reapers, the Smoking Gun. Fuck the 3,000 boys! Fuck the Executioners! Like Andres will be murdered. How many of them have already been murdered?
That's right,
Say his
that's right.
name.
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Andres Guardado!
Put it back down.
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Andres Guardado! He's not the first and he will sadly not be the last until we continue to work towards dismantling the systemic racist oppression that He was working at his second job.
That's right.
He put his life on the line to protect his family's business, and he was murdered for it. He was murdered because they assumed he was a criminal. Say his name!
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Miguel Vega!
Killed Andres!
Miguel Vega!
Who killed Andres?
Miguel Vega!
Killed Andres!
Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Murder charges! Murder charges!
What does he deserve?
Murder charges!
What does he deserve?
Murder charges!
What does he deserve?
Murder charges! Murder charges! Murder charges! Murder charges! Murder charges! Murder charges! Now! Now!
When do we want them?
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 Now! Now!
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Say his name!
Andres Guardado!
Say his name!
Andres Guardado!
Say his name!
Andres Guardado! Miguel Vega! 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 This is 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina, the intersection of West San Bernardino Road, the home of Los Angeles Sheriff's Deputy Miguel Vega. On June 18th, Deputy Miguel Vega executed an 18-year-old worker named Andres Guardado, shot him 5 times in the back while Andres was at his job working security at an auto body shop in Gardena. Deputy Miguel Vega likes to kill young workers in Guardado and then retreat to his comfortable home in suburban Covina. We cannot allow sheriff's deputies and police officers that live outside of our communities to come in and act like outside occupying forces, treat everybody they see with hostility, kill and abuse people, and then return home to their comfortable, quiet suburban neighborhoods outside of Los Angeles. We have to bring this fight to their front doorstep. We demand murder charges. We demand prosecution by the district attorney, Jackie Lacey, the county prosecutor, to apply equal application of the law against the sheriff's deputy that she would have applied to any other member of the public had we shot an 18-year-old worker 5 times in the back. There was no justification for Deputy Vega to even have approached Andres Guardado. Andres was a suspect in no crime. He was working. There was no crime committed when Deputy Vega accosted Andres Guardado, shot him 5 times in the back. We demand murder charges. The sheriff of the county, Alex Villanueva, has conspired to conceal all the evidence and the facts in this incident. He had tried to place a security hold on the autopsy results. The family, Andres Guardado's family, hired an independent medical exam, which proved that Andres had been shot 5 times in the back and therefore could not have presented any threat whatsoever to the sheriff's deputies, that the killing was unjustified, that any use of force was unjustified. After the independent autopsy was released, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner released the official autopsy results in defiance of Sheriff Villanueva's security hold. This is the first time in the history of Los Angeles County that the county coroner, the medical examiner, has defied instructions from law enforcement to conceal official autopsy results, and he went and released the official autopsy results, which corroborated the family's independent autopsy, again proved that Andres was shot 5 times in the back, that he presented no threat whatsoever to the deputies, and that there was no justification for any use of force, let alone lethal force, that murdered, executed this 18-year-old worker, Andres Guardado. We demand that Sheriff Villanueva immediately resign from his position. The community has no confidence in Sheriff Villanueva's administration. Not only did he try to conceal the autopsy results, his department seized 8 different video surveillance cameras from the auto body shop and has refused to release the video evidence to the public. The county office of the Inspector General, Max Huntsman, has requested multiple times that Sheriff Villanueva turn over all evidence in the incident, all documents, all video, to the office of the Inspector General in a proper oversight. And Sheriff Villanueva has entirely disregarded all these requests, is dating back to June 22nd. The Sheriff's Civilian Oversight Commission, which was enacted by the county 4 years ago, also has requested that the sheriff turn over all evidence regarding this investigation to the Civilian Oversight Commission. And again, Sheriff Villanueva has completely ignored any attempt at oversight, either from the office of the Inspector General or from the Civilian Oversight Commission. Sheriff Villanueva is complicit in the murder of Andres Guardado. He's an accomplice after the fact in the murder because he's trying to protect the actions of his sheriff's deputy, even to the point where the deputy is a criminal.
And Deputy Anthony Furlano, that was his second.
Congresswoman Nanette Barragan and Congresswoman Maxine Waters have both called on the California State Attorney General, Javier Becerra, to intervene and take over the investigation. The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors has itself called for the California State Attorney General Javier Becerra to intervene and take over the investigation. Andres Guardado's father, Cristobal Guardado, is a chef, a cook at a downtown Los Angeles hotel. He's a member of the Hotel and Restaurant Employees Union, Unite Here. The union that represents Andres' father, Unite Here, Local 11, also has called for Sheriff Villanueva to resign and for an independent investigation. This is not the first time that sheriff's deputies have murdered teenage young people in the streets of South Los Angeles. 2 years ago, in 2018, on Super Bowl Sunday, shot 16 times in the back 16-year-old Anthony A.J. Weber on 107th Street and Budlong. In 2012, sheriff's deputies in East Los Angeles shot in the back Carlos Oliva in City Terrace neighborhood of East Los Angeles, shot him in the back while he was unarmed riding a skateboard in his own neighborhood. They shot and killed Jose de la Trinidad, again unarmed and a suspect in no crime. They had pulled over a car for a regular traffic violation, and when Jose got out of the car, they shot him and killed him in cold blood in Compton. In 2005, they shot 24-year-old DeAndre Brunston on 126th Street. The sheriffs are run through with criminals, with gang members internal to the sheriff's department, and with terrorists that operate with impunity in the working class, poor, and oppressed communities, and then they retreat home to their comfortable suburban neighborhoods like this one in Covina. We can no longer allow for these police and sheriff's deputies to operate as gangsters and terrorists in South Los Angeles. Responsibility to escape accountability. The community is organizing and mobilizing to bring this demand straight to the doorstep of Sheriff's Deputy Miguel Vega, and we're going to continue to return here and let the good people of Covina.
The call is L-A-S-D. How do you spell racist?
L-A-S-D.
How do you spell racist?
L-A-S-D.
How do you spell racist?
L-A-S-D.
How do you spell racist?
Come join us at 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina, the intersection of North Cedar Drive and Cedar Drive and San Bernardino Road. Come join us to let the people of Covina know that there's a murderer living in their community, that there's a murderer, a child killer, honestly. An 18-year-old is still a child, not old enough to order a drink. Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado! Andres Guardado!
Who murdered Andres Guardado?
Miguel Vega!
Who murdered Andres Guardado?
Miguel Vega!
Who murdered Andres Guardado?
Miguel Vega!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want? What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges! Now!
What do we want?
Murder charges! Now! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer! Your neighbor's a murderer!
Long Beach to South Central, law enforcement is murdering innocent people with mental illnesses all over the damn country. Dante Jordan was murdered by Long Beach police and left his mother to mourn. and deal with PTSD. And one common thing that the parents are left to deal with is worrying about if their other kids will be taken from them. Lionel Jefferson was murdered by Long Beach police. It's so important for us to come out here and support these families. We don't have to go out here and lose everything. Trying to fight through their grief and the bullshit that they get dragged through by law enforcement. Some of that bullshit we saw with E.J. Ford, who was murdered by LAPD 2 days after Mike Brown. They withheld the autopsy report, and they had just murdered Omar Abrego a few days before him and a few blocks away, and they withheld that autopsy report. Yeah. D.A. Lacey told everyone, if there's any witnesses to this murder of E.J. Ford, come forward. Don't worry, we'll protect you. And when Leroy Hill came forward, he was executed right before the deposition. That's the kind of sick-ass games these people play. They come to the neighborhood and they stand there and intimidate the family, talking out their members. They used to ride by and flip off the floor. And commemorating their loved ones. They messed up the murals in their name. They didn't try to blame it on gangs. But those people, those street trials never bothered nobody while we were out there marching peacefully through various hoods.
You want to step up? All right.
So just know the games that these people play. Because after they finish executing somebody, then they murder their entire legacy in the media. Here in Chester, where the comment section, and everyone believes the lies about them. They refer to them as a suspect.
Yep.
The most powerful gang in America. That's why terrorist organization.
That's right. That's right.
The most powerful serial killers in America. They're playing in our faces, saying that I was scared. He reached for his weapon. He made suspicious hand movements. We know it's bullshit. And there'll be a whole bunch of witnesses around, and they execute the witness like they did before, and like they did with Mike Brown. So it's important that we be out here. Thank you for being out here.
No justice. 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 If there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace.
if there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace.
if there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace.
if there ain't gonna be no justice,
There ain't gonna be no peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice.
No peace. No peace.
What do we want? When do we want them? What do we want? When do we want them? What do we want? When do we want them? What do we want? When do we want them? ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Cuándo? ¿Qué queremos? 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 ¿Cuándo? El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido. El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
The people united. The people united will never be defeated. 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 The people united
Will never be divided. People
United.
will never be defeated. Asesino.
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 Say his name.
Andrés Guardado. 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 Murder charges.
When do we want this?
Now. Murder charges. Now. Murder charges. Now. Murder charges. Now.
If they don't get no peace.
If they don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice.
If they don't get no peace.
If we don't get no justice.
If they don't get no peace. No peace. Police. No peace. Police. No peace.
Police. No peace. Police.
Off our streets. 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 Our streets.
No justice.
No peace. No peace. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Say his name.
Andrés Guardado.
Say his name.
Andrés Guardado. Andrés Guardado. Andrés Guardado. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega. No peace. No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Say his name.
Andrés Guardado. Andrés Guardado. Andrés Guardado.
What is it?
The squeaky Yeah. Sure. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega. Miguel Vega.
Who murdered him?
Miguel Vega.
Fuck the police.
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 No justice, no peace. Fuck the police. No justice,
No peace.
Fuck the police. No justice,
No peace.
Fuck the police. No justice,
No peace.
Fuck the
Police.
No justice,
No peace.
Fuck the police. No justice,
No peace.
Fuck the
Police.
No justice, no peace. Fuck the police.
No justice.
No peace.
Fuck the police.
Wow.
Little pig, let me go. It's too much.
Yo! I'm gonna put a donut around my yo.
Wow.
I want to bring the donut sticks again. What? The donut sticks? I don't know. What? I want to roast this pig! 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 Roast this pig!
The address is 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina. 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina. The intersection of North Cedar Drive and West San Bernardino Road in Covina. North Cedar Drive and West San Bernardino Road. 429 North Cedar Drive in Covina. This is the home of Sheriff's Deputy Miguel Vega, the murderer of Andres Guardado. On June 18th, Deputy Vega shot Andres Guardado 5 times in his back in Gardena while Andres was working at an auto body shop, a suspect in no crime. These deputies and police officers have a history of abusing, terrorizing, and killing oppressed working class, especially African American, Mexican, Central American immigrants in our communities in South Los Angeles, in East Los Angeles, in Compton, in Gardena, and then they retreat back to their quiet residential suburbs and enjoy their weekends, enjoy their families, enjoy their lives. The family of Andres Guardado is devastated. Andres' father, Cristobal Guardado, left El Salvador to escape violence, poverty, oppression, and come to the United States to find work, to contribute. He's a union member of Local 11 of the Hotel and Restaurant Employees Union in Los Angeles, working at a downtown hotel as a chef. We demand prosecution by the district attorney. We demand murder charges against Deputy Miguel Vega. We demand that the district attorney, Jackie Lacey, bring equal justice against the deputy that would be brought against any other member of the public if we had shot and killed an 18-year-old worker, shot him 5 times in the back. We want equal justice. We want democracy. We want the same application of the law to the police and to the sheriff's deputies that would come upon any other member of the community. The law that applies to working people has to also apply to law enforcement. Law enforcement cannot be permitted to be above the law or outside the law, to act with impunity. The police and the sheriffs cannot have qualified immunity. They cannot be allowed to act as gangsters and criminals and murderers and terrorists in our communities, escape any type of accountability, and then come back and enjoy their quiet suburbs. The Sheriff Villanueva must resign. The sheriff is an accomplice to the murder after the fact. He's complicit in a conspiracy to cover up the facts of the murder. He has attempted to conceal the autopsy results. He placed a security hold on the autopsy results.
Let me go get some candles.
It's not important. We got a lot of time before the sun goes down. Listen, matter of fact, Kiana, if we could stretch out the picket and wrap the corner, we could social distance and extend it. They don't get no peace. They don't get no peace.
Murder charges! No peace!
Police!
No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police!
Just stretch it out, turn the corner and come back. Watch the sidewalk, please.
We're just stretching it out. We're just stretching it out.
Let's keep it moving, folks.
Thank you for all your help that you have given.
Let's stop at the property line, huh? I think we should stop at the property line. No justice! No killer! No justice! No killer! No justice! No killer! No justice! No killer! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Andrés Guardado! There we go. Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! Miguel Vega! That's crazy. Somebody brought a box of little squeaky pigs to honor the occasion.
Murder charges!
What's up, brother? Nice to see you, Ernesto. How are you?
Good, I'm good.
All right.
Who wants to talk? You or your partner?
Kiana? She can talk.
Okay.
She's in the driver's side of her car with the blinking lights on right here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, go up to her right now. Hey, was there a press conference already, or was?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
There was some press. I mean, I'm happy to go and speak to them.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go and introduce myself.
Yeah. Maybe.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
Ernesto wants to speak to you, and I don't know if it's possible to just keep it around the corner. Ernesto with the hat on. Ernesto from KBFK. Ernesto Arce. Right here with the hat on, filming. Okay.
You're gonna have to redirect the folks with
All right, I'll do that. I'm gonna go talk to the news, and I'll be right back. I gotta go quickly speak to the news reporters, and then I'll return to the picket line and the action. So far, the police came up at the beginning and told us that they were not going to obstruct us as long as we didn't violate any laws. So we don't have any intention of that. How you doing, brother? My name is Cliff. I called for the action. I don't know if you guys wanted to.
You know what? I think we already interviewed you guys.
Okay, you got all the statements you need?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we just got all the material.
Okay.
We're just crashing right now.
All right.
Yeah, right now we're crashing because we go on in like 40 minutes.
Right on. Okay, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Okay, Telemundo and Channel 4, NBC in Los Angeles. is a nice presence here on a main street in Covina. I'm gonna walk the sidewalk on the opposite side of the street, make sure that we're engaging traffic on both sides. How you doing, brother? Legal observers, always appreciated, from the National Lawyers Guild, providing us with some counsel, just keeping a watchful eye on us, making sure that nobody comes up to our action and creates any type of problems, whether law enforcement or otherwise. Always appreciated to have legal observers from the National Lawyers Guild overseeing our actions. We're operating in a disciplined manner, operating within the law. There's no trespassing, there's no littering, there's no property damage or destruction of any sort. There's no amplified sound, and we're not obstructing any public passageways. We're continuing a classic old-fashioned picket line, establishing our presence and making our positions and our demands known. So we're operating entirely within the law. There's no pretense for dispersal. We're going to continue to establish a presence outside of Deputy Vega's residence until justice is realized. We want prosecution. We want murder charges against Deputy Vega. You can see that his neighbors are outside. They introduced themselves to us. They said that they had no idea that a sheriff's deputy lived next to them, let alone a killer. This is a busy intersection. You can see that we're a presence on all the corners, letting traffic know. This is a really great escalation of struggle against killer sheriff's deputies in Los Angeles County to be able to identify their home address and bring the protest directly to their front doorstep. No police officer should feel comfortable